How many dukes do you know about? Greatest American ever lived.
Fucking man! This family's doing an announcement for giving out for the war, the only violent I love my son, you know, I can beat my son back there. So this is how we're gonna do it. I got two homies to sit in these other chairs and assist me in my storytelling. The first is the one and only Ouija Macc. Hey, whoop, whoop. And the second homie is my personal homie, the very beautiful, very much taken Sarah Rusi. I'm sorry to let anybody down if they thought we was gonna be up here doing stand-up or anything like that, because all we're doing is storytelling, you know what I'm saying? And these stories ain't funny, but man, I will tell you this bit of craziness though. You know what I'm saying? I was telling my son this. I've been marathoning YouTube videos of pedos getting caught and beat, you know what I mean?
Skeeter!
This old man got kicked in the face, fell backward, and just started snoring. You know what I'm saying? But the freshest one was this gay, I was gonna say kid, he was like 35, and he was like trying to be a TikTok singer star, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So these guys, these pedo hunters, whatever, they reached out to him and they were like, hey man, this is Nike, and we would like you to be our TikTok spokesperson for the rainbow edition of the Jordans coming out. he was like, hell yeah! And so they came to meet with him and they're like, can you sing for us? And they're like in the back of a Wendy's or something. And he's singing.
Rising from the ground, like a skyscraper.
Yeah, that was the voice of an angel.
Awful. And they're like, oh, absolutely beautiful, bro, tears to my eyes. And they're like, all right, let's get into the nitty gritty of the contract. Do you like this shoe? And they're actually showing him the fresh shoe design, you know what I mean? And he's like, yeah, absolutely, you know what I mean? And then they're like, all right, well, what do you think of this? And they flip to the next page and it's a picture of him holding his dick. And he's like, yeah, and then you sent this to a 13-year-old. You know what I'm saying? This motherfucker's faith went from absolute fucking like eternal happiness to eternal damnation in 3 seconds. It went by like 3 hours. You know what I'm saying? It was a beautiful. They should have got an Oscar for that shit. Anyway, I just wanted to tell y'all about that. Oh, about not giving a fuck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Juggalos are actual celebrities. Listen to me. Juggalos are the only reason ICP matters. You take away the Juggalos, what in the fuck are we? You get it? The Juggalos are our legacy. Listen, when there's 5 Juggalos walking across the street and somebody's waiting at the light, they're like, check out the Juggalos. Are those really Juggalos? Wow, you know what I'm saying? I'm serious. Almost every American of the right age or whatever, maybe I'm wrong, but knows what a juggalo is. You get what I'm saying? It's like I'm serious.
I've definitely had people that I know that were not juggalos whoop at me before, which was crazy.
Maybe I'm wrong, but I know this, man. They name drop juggalos in sitcoms and shit. And I'm wondering why writers would do that if they figure nobody knows about it. You know what I'm saying?
Because they know we're connected. They know if they mention juggalos, we're gonna tell each other. We got our own network.
But man, don't give a fuck, man. Oh, there you go. That's you.
Give that shit to Jay. Don't drink it. Hey, woo,
Appreciate that very much.
Wait, hold up. Here, you take this one. You don't even have a drink. I got two. Take this one.
give that girl a drink. Yo, give my drink for me. Thank you. Thank you, Ouija. I'll take that drink.
Yo, thank you. Thank you very much.
Does anybody listen? Does anybody have any questions? Is there anything anybody wants to know? What? No, not no stupid shit like that. Fucking very many hours, okay, where my brain doesn't wow out for a minute about my life. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, like I said, I'm not one of them. You know what I'm saying? Like in wrestling, I'm in awe of these wrestlers. I don't feel like we're one of them. We've been every promotion we've been there, but we don't feel like that. And then the musicians, you know what I'm saying? Famous musicians, when we're around them, I'm just like, I'm just like y'all. You get
like, oh yeah. So like last week, asshole. So like before you put your shoes on, yeah, motherfucker. Nah. So I was a little kid, and I didn't get to see my dad that much. My mom and my dad, they weren't together. So my dad would like sometimes scoop me up, and he would like take us to do shit. And one of these times he took us camping in the middle of nowhere. It was me and my half brother and him.
What's your half brother's name?
His name's Chris.
Appreciate you.
So me and Chris and my dad, we were camping, and we used to play this card game that's kind of like Goldfish, but it's called Authors. And it's got like cards with different authors on it. It sounds pretty fucking stupid when you say it out loud. But that shit got me interested in like literature and shit, so it was kind of cool. Anyway, so I'd be like, yo, do you got any Walt Whitmans? You got any J.D. Salingers over there? It was like that. So we would play that shit, and we would play it pretty much like until we got tired and fell asleep. So we like fell asleep playing that shit. But while we were playing, my dad like took a break to go take a shit. He went like, 2-3 trees down and sprayed some dirt real quick. And I didn't think anything of that at all. But I wake up in the middle of the night to the sound of what sounded like a fucking Sasquatch or like a demon was outside of our tent. I just heard like this breathing sound. And I'm scared as fuck, dog. I'm literally about to fucking piss myself. Like there's like a drop of piss at the tip of my dick, like a hamster feeder, how that bead of water is right there. That's how my dick was, bro. And I was fucking terrified. And I like wake my dad up, and I'm like, Dad, wake up. And he wakes up, and he hears the shit. And now we hear like the sound of rocks tumbling down this mountain that's beside us. So it's like this fucking thing's homies are coming now. We just hear rocks tumbling down and fucking outside the tent. And I'm fucking terrified. My dad pulls out this gun. I didn't even know my dad had a fucking gun. He just pulls out a handgun out of nowhere. He's like, don't make a fucking sound. I got this. And he unzips the tent. And me and my brother...
Whips out the chrome Desert Eagle.
Right. So me and my brother are like in the opposite corner of the fucking tent, like, you sure you got this? Like, and he opens the tent, and he's frozen. And I'm thinking, oh fuck, we're fucked. He's frozen. You can't be frozen when some shit is about to kill you. And he's just stuck there with the light. And then he's like, you guys gotta see this. So we peek out the tent, and there is a deer. A cute ass fucking deer right at the tree where my dad took an awful diarrhea shit. And this motherfucker, this deer has a shit mustache all the way around its mouth. And it's just eating shit like pudding. It's just eating my dad's shit. And it was the most majestic thing I've ever seen in my fucking life. That motherfucker was so happy just eating that shit. It was like he was eating some custard.
Thank you for sharing.
No problem.
But there is this woman coming to every major event we do, all our annual events, and stopping in on several tour dates, all of that, right? And she is always, listen, the story is nuts. She is always holding up a cell phone, right? All the time. And when she comes to the meet and greets, she gets up to us. It's a beautiful woman, stunningly beautiful, not as even half as close as this woman to my right. Which stunning ain't a word for it, it's beyond that. But she's like, comes up and she says, listen, my husband is serving natural life in prison, right? And he's a huge fan. Can you talk to him? And I am not, y'all. I cannot do that. I'm like, keep your head up. She handed me a phone so many times, you know what I mean? That I was like, if you need a pen pal, I'll be a pen pal or something. You know what I mean? I just running out of shit to say. What do you say to a ninja that killed 3 people with a knife? Right? It was part of a racist biker gang. Okay? 3 years ago. But went to prison and now is a juggalo reformed. I don't know about that. It's suspect. The whole triple murder thing and racism, I'm having a hard time with.
What is track 3 on Riddlebox right now? Tell me right now.
So I'm riding with my brother and we're riding in the van on the tour, and I'm like, you know what, man? Fuck that guy, that prisoner. Fuck him. Listen, let her go. Right? You ain't getting out, bitch. Let that woman go. What the fuck, man? You love her? Let her go. Fucking asshole. You ain't ever getting out, bitch. Quit dreaming. She's paying for your appeal. No. Listen, stabbing is hands-on, all right? There's pretty much a lot of forensic evidence there. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like he shot you from a mile away. That motherfucker stabbed the shit and killed 3 people. My brother, I'm like, Rob, I'm saying something to her. He's like, don't you dare, don't you dare. Leave him alone, just know your business. And I'm like, no, I'm saying something. You know what I'm saying? So, the whole pen pal thing, right? When I got his first letter, I peeped the address. You know what I'm saying? And I called information, and I got her number.
The stalker.
And I was like, what's going on, man? You know what I mean? Clown, you should be wearing a pen. Why are you doing this for this guy? And she, listen, this is her story. Holy fucking shit. She was walking with her friend when she was 16. Some ninja pulls up and he's like, hey, wanna make $200 a night? And they're like, how? And she's like, or he's like, they put you in a cage in this underground New York S&M dungeon, and people are fucking all around you, and all you gotta do is dance. And so they're like, word, so they're doing that shit, right? Her boyfriend gets killed, shot with heroin. There's an old couple that fucking come to fuck in front of her every night. They love her, right? They can't fuck no more. They're like, look, we're moving down to Florida, but we love you like our daughter. We want to Right? She's like, okay. So they fly to Florida. She meets a banker that fucking loves her. She falls in love with a puppy in the window, and it's $7,000. And he's like, I'm sorry, babe, we can't, you know? And when she gets home, it's on her bed. You know what I'm saying? Super loving ninja, right? She sees a forensic files on that ninja and falls in love. What the fuck, bro?
I'm sorry, this isn't gonna work out. I just seen this guy who stabbed 3 people on TV, and I'm gonna try to go for this.
I know you guys think I'm lying, man. This is my favorite story in human life. She falls in love with this guy, right? And marries him. He's in prison doing natural. That means he's not getting out in 50 years. That means naturally, until he naturally dies. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm talking to her, and I'm trying to figure out who she is, you know, like what's going on. And we're talking for hours and hours and hours and hours. I call her the next day, same thing, right? I'm fresh out of my marriage, don't forget.
So what you doing, girl?
I finally, I'm like, man, I think I like you more. She's like, I like you too. And I'm like, I want to come see you this weekend. She's like, all right. So I flew out there, had the bomb-ass weekend, right? She's like, let's go to my house, you know. She had two giant Rottweilers, right? She cooks them dinner, right? Here's where I landed in my funk, Ouija. The fucking house is obliterated with two things. Okay. Their love, right? And ICP. Everywhere, right? It on the wall in the living room. You guys think I'm making this up? On the wall in the living room is a giant mural of, she calls it bear. Her bear, like this black and white, cracks on the paint behind them, serving hard fucking time. It was the most depressing fucking mural wallpaper I've ever seen. She's just suffering with him. You know, it's her way of being with him. Right?
This is fucking awful.
Yeah. So I go to hit it, right? Make a long story short, she rolled over. That's when I saw her back for the first time. Dun dun dun. Her entire back was Bear's face. With the upside down crosses and everything tattooed everywhere.
Just
her entire back. And it was freshly done. Like it was damn near almost still scabbed up. Her entire back. Instant panic attack. I had an instant panic attack. I was falling in love. You know what I mean? An instant panic attack, right? I froze up. She was like, what? I was like, you're back, you know? She was like, what's the matter? And I was like, just go. I can't, you know? So she left, right? I flew home. Then I'm like, damn, I really like that bitch. And I'm like, Rob, man, I should just hit it back up. And he's like, what the fuck? You know? And he's like, what do you do about her back, Joe? And I'm like, I'm just gonna make her get my face paint tattooed on her back. So it's me. And he said, all right, Joe, that might be you, but that will always be his eyes. That fucked me up.
Bear will be watching.
So anyway, I sold out and fucking called her. And she was like, all right, listen, I'm gonna come see you. I'm gonna come see you, you know, for 6 weeks or whatever. We're gonna see if it works out. And I was like, word, you know. And she had just fallen out with him because he kept getting caught smoking bath salts in prison. Okay? And when so he got put away in a hole for a month. Then he got put away for 2 months. He swore to her he'd never do it again. He got caught again. He's in the hole for 3 months, no communication, right? She was mad at him. Literally, 4 days later, I called her. Imagine the timing, right? So now, he's getting out of the hole. She's just about to come see me. He's getting out of the hole. And she's like, Joe, she sent me a text, Joe, he got out of the hole. He wants me to come see him. I'm going to see him. I'm going to tell him everything. Can you imagine this guy, this huge juggalo? She's about to call and be like, yeah, I'm going to go stay with Jay. You know what I'm saying? I just can't even imagine. But my perspective is like, fuck you, murderer! Seriously. And fuck you for keeping her when you know you're never getting out. If you love her, you know what I'm saying? Let her fucking go. So, she's like, I'm gonna go see him. And I was like, I thought, what can I say that's gonna really make, I said, you know what? I would do anything to be loved like that, the way you love that ninja. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead and do that. I understand, because this can be mine. You know what I mean? So, she called me in the morning and she was like, oh, I just left the prison. Do you want me to call you now or when I get home? And I was like, what the fuck? It takes you damn near a day and a half to get home. You know what I'm saying? Just fucking call me now. So then she calls me again or texts me again and she's like, do you want me to, I'm at a fucking truck stop. Do you want me to? I'm like, just fucking call me, right? She calls me, this is what she says. She's like, she went to go see him and they walked the yard. She told him everything, right? She said he started hyperventilating, okay? Then, she was like, calm down, the guards are gonna come. Calm down, bear, calm down, bear. Then, he made, then, this is the most terrifying part. He made the face like he was gonna scream and froze like that.
Just like the tattoo.
You couldn't write this shit. I'm like, what? And then what? And she said, there's a prison ID that you used to swipe through. You know what I mean? And she said he grabbed his card and he started fiddling with it. And she thought he was pulling the sticker of a bear that she gave him to put on the back of it. You know what I mean? But no, he was splitting it. And there was some fucking razor blade in the middle or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And he grabbed it, and she was like, no! She grabbed it out of his hands, wrestled it from his hands, and was like, no, bear, stop! I'll never talk to him again, please! I'll never talk to him again! And she was like, and I can't, Joe! I can't ever talk to you again! I'm sorry, bye! You know? And I felt like the floor was fucking falling. I was like, ah!
Shout out Sarah, way better.
Fuck that bitch.
Yeah, fuck that bitch. Fuck that bitch.
So 5 years later,
What the fuck? You talking to a bitch?
she calls, and I'm like, are you still with him? And she's like, yeah, but we're breaking up. But I'm still dedicating my life to get him out of the prison. And I was like, fuck you, quit calling me, bitch! I'm just like y'all. You get it?
Yeah.
Even after 33 fucking years
Tell him.
of making a living doing this, you know?
Hell yeah.
I'm fucking forever y'all. You get it? Where do we live? We live in Detroit. We don't fucking move out there. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, man, we love y'all.
We love you, Jay.
Woo woo.